Something Dominique Foxworth said on the show, because we were having that conversation exactly, and he was making this point about why the owners in the NFL should do what's right when it comes to player protests. Here was Neek yesterday.
Like, how much money do you need to be free? How much leverage and flexibility do you need to stand up for what's right? Like, they have no bosses. There's no one who can do anything with them. They are billionaires. Do what's right because it's right, not because you're trying to make a buck. You don't need any more. Your house can't get any bigger. You don't need another plane or helicopter or yacht. Like, be free, be honest, and be truthful in this moment. Don't come out and say it because you think it's right or because you think it's going to sell tickets or appease your players. Say it because you have the luxury to be able to say and do the things that are important in this moment, because can't nobody do nothing to you. They can take things from me. They can take things from your employees. They can't take nothing from you. Be honest and be true to who you are and be true to what you believe in.
So, Jeff, that's Jeff Saturday. That's your old negotiating partner there. And Dominique Foxworth, for those who don't recall, you two were in the leadership of the Players Association during the lockout. So you guys know each other real well and go back a long way and have dealt with the owners in that context a lot for a long time. What is your expectation for how that will be handled?
Well, let me start with this. Fox is obviously a close personal friend of mine, and I will say this: I have a very unique perspective. And when Fox is talking about do the right thing and why it's so important to do it, irrespective of where you are in your life, that this is what you should be doing. I am a man whose life has been directly affected in a great way, in a positive way, by strong Black men in my life, starting with my high school football coach, Ron Gartrell, my strength coach in college, Jeff Mad Dog Madden, George Smith, Bulldog. Then you go to Tony Dungy, Jim Caldwell. But my life, even my faith walk, my faith journey has been impacted by African-American men for the better. My family has been changed. And so I think relationship, I heard an African-American man at my church say it this weekend, relationship helps resolve racism. And that's reality of where we are in the country. And so it is for the greater good of our country. And when you have men in your life, this matters. It hurts. There is pain going on. You listen. And I think that voice, that call, and what Fox is talking about is so important. Listen, what can we do to help? How are we playing a role in keeping this and keeping it moving? What can we do? What type of changes can we make? And listen and be open to listening because you love someone and you're putting someone else above yourself. I love what Fox says, man. He and I went through it. We really went through it for a year and a half, right? Where he was one of the men I trusted most in my life. And I've had a number of different peers in locker rooms and some of my best friends in the world. We've all had significant conversations in life. And I have been very fortunate in what my life has resulted in because of relationships that I've had. But that's Fox's point, man, is you are a billionaire. You do own a football team. You can impact the community for the greater good. So let's step up and make those things happen. And I think ultimately with what you heard Roger Goodell saying and pushing that, you're hoping that owners jump in and become part of the solution in any way they can. No one's perfect. I'm not saying, we can definitely help further along what's going on in our country right now.
It's beautifully said. Booger, what are your thoughts?
But Jeff, when you say that, here's the catch, though. Basically, what you're asking the owners to do is do what's socially and morally right. Like this to me is less of a racial issue and more of a humanity issue. Okay, this country gives us the right to peacefully protest, and 4 years ago you took it away because it affected the bottom line, and it created all hell throughout this country. So what's going to be different? Are you going to do what's humanly right and what's given in the bylaws of this Constitution for everyone, not just African American, for everyone to peacefully protest? The owners chose money 4 years ago. Do we have any confidence whatsoever that they're not going to choose money again? I think that's what everyone is really contemplating. That's what everyone is struggling with right now.
Yeah, we have not heard a lot from them individually to this point. The owner of the Jaguars, Shad Khan, did have some pretty strong comments last week that I've read. I'm sure there have been others perhaps that I've not seen specifically, but generally speaking, we've not heard a lot from them. It should be reminded again, Woody Johnson, who is the owner of the New York Jets, is currently the ambassador to the United Kingdom in the Trump administration, and we know where the president stands on this. So I will be very interested to see, to the point you guys are making, how the owners react here. Cliff Avril, what are your expectations?
Well, it's the NFL, right? We got to remember this is a $16, $17 billion business. Are they going to do the right thing from that perspective, from a moral standpoint? Correct, right? It's all about what do they value most. for the most part, they value their money. That's hence why they went about that route in 2016 with Cap and trying to stop guys from protesting and all these different things, right? So I see them trying to have a change of heart, but for the most part, the majority of the ownership, I feel like they are still in the same place. They're going to do what's best for the bottom line. And right now, I really believe they will lean towards the protest because that's what the rest of the world is doing. That's what their sponsors and all the people that endorse them are doing right now. So I feel like with that by itself will move them in the right direction. But I don't know deep down inside if they really believe the moral compass, their moral compass. I don't know if it's leaning towards the right way.
Yeah, that was the point that Dominique was making yesterday was don't do this because you feel suddenly the room has changed. And now, instead of being a financially imprudent move, it is the right move to make financially. Do it because you believe it's the right thing to do. Jeff, I'd like to hear a final word from you here.
Yeah, no, I agree with both Cliff and Boog. I mean, when you're talking about doing the right thing, it has so much more to do than just money, right? And if we as a society look at this and say, hey, man, if this is the way everything has moved, however it pushes owners, I want owners, I want our league, I want people to understand that we can be on the forefront of this, and hopefully that's where Goodell is pushing the owners. In whichever way they're doing, making sure they're moving in the direction that's for the betterment of our country and for our society as a whole.
Thank you for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.